I'm going to give this away as well at some point during this reaction, or let's say after the reaction, I'll give this away. Patrick Waugh ring. Okay, guys, let's get this going here. 7-2. My God, man. I'm glad I gave up on that game. Brutal. Anyway, that's what preseason's for. Here we go. The season finale. Maple Leafs. All for nothing. Let's go. Woo! I will say, I got the one thing I am not looking forward to in this is rewatching this John Tavares injury. That was terrifying live. Here we go.
There's a great level of care. This is not taken lightly.
This is your shot.
Woo! The thing about regular season and the playoffs, everything's back to zero.
It's taken 42 years for the forever rivals to renew playoff hostilities. And Tavares is hurt. We're all here, John. We're all here.
They're going to take good care of you, buddy.
The captain's laying on this, but he wants us to continue on and try and win.
They got demons in their heads. They're going to hunt the fucking beds. Everywhere they turn, there's a fucking demon. We've been through a lot as a hockey team. Trying to find our way to prepare for moments like this.
I love these hockey documentaries. These behind the scenes documentaries. Love them. These are the moments you are remembered for. You got that right, Sheldon Keefe.
It's another day of COVID lockdown in Toronto, and morale has reached an all-time low. No other city in North America has been shut down for so long. But now there's something to get excited about. The playoffs are here.
I will say too, I want to say this early in the stream. I have a lot of family members and friends that are Leafs fans, and I'm honestly gutted for a good portion of them. You know, there's a lot of Leafs fans that are hard to deal with, and they deserve all of this. But I have, like, my nephew is a big Leafs fan. My one of my best friends is. A ton of my family in Cape Breton are, and like they haven't seen. Like, I'm so grateful for the run we just had and the Eastern Conference final we had. And they haven't had that, and that kind of sucks. But I'm still gonna sit here and laugh at them for choking again. There's Jock Hahn in the background, isn't it?
We want to get better defensively and the focus on that.
After an historic regular season, the focus is on getting through the first round of the playoffs.
It's hard to tell with the mask who's who
Haven't done in 17 years.
when they pan so quick.
That's really just exactly what community breakthrough is. That first round is extremely important just for our confidence, and I think just breaking through that wall. The thing about regular
Break through that wall, Austin. Break through that wall, baby.
You're dealing now with, the top teams in the league all the way through.
And if by wall you mean Sherratt,
You got to reestablish it.
The first round
ain't happening.
for me, I've only been past it once myself. I just know how difficult that was, and getting across that finish line to eliminate a team was so challenging. And just remember thinking you got to do that 3 more times to hoist the Stanley Cup.
Start this thing for real. Let's be ready to
Isn't that wild? JT only once passed the first round. That's tough, and he's been there so many times.
Seems as if
It sucks how it played out for him to start, man. That was awful.
consequences attached to it.
They're there now. Like the cake is.
But my God, the way they hyped up this team all season and have for the last few years, like it's a guaranteed cup.
Knows the challenge that lies ahead after playing 3 full seasons.
I think the team, I could be wrong, I think they listened to their own hype a little too much.
Pursuit for the Stanley Cup in this city, for this fan base, is extremely high. It's been a long time, so I think as players, you definitely recognize that. How was everything after I left this morning?
It was busy, but
Yeah.
we made it through.
Made it through.
Yeah. Walk was a little hectic.
Jace is my firstborn son. He's just turned a year and a half not long ago. He's starting to figure it
Yeah,
out.
man. That when watching that JT stuff live, I'm a dad. I immediately thought of his kids. I was like shivering. I had goosebumps. That was terrifying. Like I was borderline fucking about to bawl. That it was so scary.
Have them by my side, supporting me, and
And then, of course, go figure, it was Corey Perry. And it was a total accident, but then to know, like, realize it was Perry, it's like, great. Of all guys to accidentally do that.
Swear with Fliggy and Willie. I just can't wait till they can come back to the rink and be a part of it. Careful, bud. Watch where you're going. Come on, can you pass it? Let's see your shot. In the meantime, I know they've been cheering from home and mean the world to me. Woo!
It's cute, eh? JT and his kids. Oh, game one. Right into it. Oh, God. But that's what we're going to see first, isn't it?
The Habs in the playoffs, I was a 9-year-old kid watching on a nose.
Ken Dryden. That mask.
And when the Leafs lost, I cried. True story.
Oh, Will Arnett cried when the Leafs lost when he was a kid. Wonder if he cried this year.
They swept us 4-0 and went on to win the cup. Fun fact, every time these rivals
Leafs must absolutely hate the Habs and Habs fans.
There's an underlying hate that goes with Montreal and Toronto. It's an understanding that
There you go.
do not like the Montreal Canadiens. You know when you're playing against the Habs, there's just a hate in that game, and so I'm looking forward to that. The Bell Center in Montreal Saturday night. That's my favorite place to play, just because of the rivalry.
After struggling with injuries, Bogo, Foligno, and Hyman are all back in the lineup. And Soupy's making his playoff debut.
Hyman, eh? That's such a big loss for them.
The team believes in me, and I'm ready to really show them what
Jack Campbell was a
I can do and on the biggest
beast for the Leafs last year. And in the playoffs.
Ready for us to get out of here and compete. The moment here in the playoffs, all that's going to require us to find another level. We got to find that another level here amongst ourselves. That's important, all right? We're on a new mission here tonight. This group stands in our way, so let's go fucking get out of here. Blue, let's go.
Get at it, boys.
We've been waiting for this. It's taken 42 years for the forever rivals to renew
The hype for this game one, Habs, Leafs, not seeing this in like my whole lifetime, our whole lifetimes, was the excitement this first game, and it was as advertised right from the start. Big hits, both sides, going off. Oh, they just skipped the JT thing. Are they skipping it, or are they gonna? Oh no, jeez. Oh. Ah, those trainers, man. Oh.
He fell down and Perry ran into him with his knee on the way by.
Just go to the bench, okay? Just go to the bench. Just go to the bench.
I couldn't imagine what these guys felt. And the fight afterwards, as much as, like, I totally agreed with that fight afterwards because both teams needed to regroup.
Assume that, he wasn't being cooperative, but that's not the case at all. We have a term that we use where we say a patient is combative. And the only reason he was combative was because he was post-head injury. And when you see that, it is very, very concerning.
Oh, man.
Honestly, there was nothing there, Nick. I would understand that. I understand. Well, 100%. We all are, right? We all are. We're all here, John. We're all here.
This is a really interesting... Oh, the blood and everything, man.
I've been in the game a long time, and I've seen a lot of things. That was the most uncomfortable situation that I've been a part of.
He's got a wife and 2 kids that are watching from home somewhere. And
I loved, like, to see Dubas's response to, like, rush to the ice. That was good. Good. I mean, what do you do, right? I couldn't imagine being these players in that situation. That's your brother. That's your captain.
As he was leaving the ice, you started to have thoughts about whether continuing the game made sense, just because of how affected our players were by the situation and the concern that they had for their
I will say, I think the Leafs responded well after considering. Quite well, actually. And there's a thumbs up. And that was a huge moment. Corey Perry giving his respects.
He just jumps over top of him and then he hits him in the head. He got hit and he spun around and he's down and he just gets contacted as Perry jumps
My concern was that they try to make it seem like it was on purpose.
Perry came out and kneed him as he was falling. Knee right to the head.
Was it on purpose?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No,
It's like sick to his stomach, but I still
it was not on purpose. But I can see why they'd be questioning it because it's Perry, because it's a big rivalry. Total fluke. But I agree with the fight because the Leafs need to regroup, and Perry's a veteran. He has no problem just... But the concern was they turn it into being a purposeful thing, and it wasn't. And I don't think the team turned it into that either, but both teams needed to regroup. It was a good little scrap. Perry let Foligno just get some licks in. There we go. And that's what a veteran like Corey Perry does. Here's Josh. Boom. Okay, we're through the JT stuff. Man. Tied up. 1-1. Paulie B. What a goal. That was hype, man. Scoring from his knees. Here they are, pissed. There's Austin, about to have a temper tantrum.
When you fought Perry after that hit, was it a sign you didn't like it, or what were you thinking there?
I think it's the right response, and Perry's a big boy. He obliged, and we handled it and moved on and played hockey.
Yeah, I agree. Foligno's a vet too. That's what you do.
But my captain's laying on the ice. Our captain.
Yeah.
It's you don't want to see that, and he'd want us to continue on and try and win, and that's the unfortunate part. We didn't get him a win tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was scary. He was like,
He fell backwards.
at that point, you're just sitting up there, you don't know.
So drop him off at home. He's just gonna get some rest today. Swabbed him so we can process and
Makes sense. You're sure about the no questions thing, Stevie? Maybe just a few? Two? There's gonna be a lot of hands that go up. The update on John's medical situation, and been in close touch with him. He's resting at home and recovering. For that, we're thankful. John was diagnosed with a concussion, and
He was lucky to get out of that with just a concussion. I thought his neck was snapped. It was terrifying. I think he got a leg thing too, right? From the Sherrod hit.
Now the singular focus is
And then someone came at us for that.
play long enough so you can come back and have an impact.
Who was that? Versteeg came at us for that. Like the Sherrod hit was a bad hit. Give me a break. That was a good hit. The Perry thing was just unfortunate.
I heard these Spezza's off.
But Jason Spezza is in a league of his own.
How many guys still work on their stick section?
Oh, not very many. It used to be a thing, right? Like guys used to, when we use wood sticks, everybody would have to work on their sticks a little bit. Now I don't know. I do it
I like Jason.
part through.
I know he's been a rival our whole lives, but he's a stand-up dude.
Calming for me before the game.
That was a great ad by the Leafs.
All right, let's hope it works.
What do we got here now? Donna and Reno, Spezza's parents.
Real Jason ever played for Toronto, and you would dream it, but you didn't know it was actually going to happen.
Jason, tell me his Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, we're over the moon.
We were
Yeah.
just jumping up.
Yeah.
And that's what he said to me. Dad, you finally can cheer openly about the Toronto Maple
Yeah.
Leafs. He says.
Yeah,
It's pretty exciting.
having to secretly like Ottawa for so long.
That I have keeping
But this is kind of like when Josh Anderson came to Montreal. Wasn't he the one with the father who's a diehard Habs fan?
finals in 2007. I was born in Italy, so when I came to Canada, it was back in 1965, and I'll never forget.
God, his dad looks exactly like him. I mean, obviously, but Jason looks so much like his dad.
Against the Montreal Canadiens, and I figured, wow, this is great. We're going to win the cup every year. I've collected over 1,100 different cards of Jason, and these are just some
Holy.
samples that I put up. I got to get all Leaf stuff in here, but I can't. There's too much of a career that he had with other teams. But I've left space for the Leaf stuff that's coming.
Let's talk. Hey, lots of talk.
That's big, eh? Communication on the ice. Like seeing a leadership call that out for the Leafs.
A far greater pace from us here today.
It's interesting seeing the.
JT's place on the second line.
Let me just pause this for a sec. It's really interesting seeing the lineup card on the back, like behind Sheldon Keefe in the locker room, because it shows you who they have highlighted. I noticed they had Deneau highlighted for face-offs, Petrie highlighted, like who they're kind of focused on. So here's where the Leafs win their 3 straight without JT.
After the first, Foligno's dealing with that awful back issue again.
Oh, there's Foligno's butt cheek.
I was ticked that happened at that moment.
It came off like he said it's bad. You know, he just, I felt it at times. And it was weak. So now we're doing everything we can to make sure he can maximize.
Imagine being the Leafs and paying a first-round pick for Foligno to play, what, 9 games total?
On the ice, the Leafs are kicking into high gear.
Leafs are able to break it out, and here's Matthews to the
Bergevin's never made a mistake like that, giving away a first for a rental, and like it's just too risky. Like that's a huge asset to give away, and that's gonna bite the Leafs down the road here. The amount they've depleted their picks and prospect pool, it's gonna be, they could be facing another rebuild in like 4 years, 5 years. Because if Matthews dips, especially if they don't trade him, they could avoid a rebuild by trading Matthews for a huge package if he's gonna leave anyway. Yeah, Leafs win, so it's 1-1, series tied.
It's a great job, and it's a great response here. Now we're best of 5 series. So we got to fill this thing up here right here. We got to start with
Oh, there's the
one.
cup they got to fill
We got
up.
our one right here. Obviously, if he was here, I'd be handing this off to our captain, and this is a win for him here tonight. We all know we're thinking of him, right? We all know we're thinking of him. So Spence, I'll hand it over to you. You put it in there for him on his behalf.
Jace, you're obviously really close with John. What does this do for the group? You know, not just tying the series, but just doing this for your captain. You know, we care deeply about Johnny, and we want to do well for him. So we're going to try to win as many games as we can.
You know, obviously when something really scary and serious goes down like it did the other night, you know, I think the response from the group was unbelievable tonight. The guys that came in and stepped up big, and you know, this is obviously a big win to even up the series.
After a rough night, Foligno's on the injured list and out for Game 3.
That was a huge loss for them, eh? But they managed to win without him.
The Habs the rest of the way, because that would be a ridiculous statement, something I can't say with certainty.
Overall physicality in Game 2 was much, much better than it was in Game 1.
Game 3, 1-0 Leafs. Nylander, he was their best player in the series.
Leafs win the draw. Over on the far side, Brody with a wrist shot. That was blocked. He gets his own rebound. Looks to center. Goes back to the blue line to Riley. On the near side for Marner. Back to Riley with
Oof, that one was nasty. That Riley goal there. 2-1 Leafs. Imagine had we lost to the Leafs. Oh, we'd be on the other side of the shit talking. Leafs fans are, I will say, are a little bit more quiet this season. There's a win. 2-1 series. And we got a little scrap at the end here.
He's not flashy by any stretch of the imagination, but he's like Velcro.
Yeah, Jack Campbell is a unit, man, for them. I'm curious to see how he plays this year. Like, will he be back up again behind Mrazek? Are they going to go 1A, 1B?
That the team is in a good spot. Couldn't go to Montreal. My wife gave birth to our second child, a baby girl, Lennon, and I would never miss that for anything. Obviously,
Yeah, good call, Kyle.
Time for
Family first.
William Nylander, third straight game with a goal, has the swagger.
Look at that suit on Nylander. That's how you dress as a hockey player.
Where does your confidence come from? Born that way.
Nylander's a funny dude. I'll give him that. I quite like the guy.
He's playing a real nice, complete game here. It's obviously huge for us, and that just speaks to the confidence that he's gaining, and that the trust that he's gaining, and not just from me, but from his teammates and stuff as well.
Yo, thanks everyone for joining the reaction stream here. Wolverine, I do remember. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that moment. Go Habs, go 89. Doing well. Hopefully you're good. Daniel, thanks for sticking around. King of Gamers, thanks for sticking around. Jacob Casola, thank you for sticking around. Kimmy, Morgan, you're a stud, man. Jarrett, Jerome. Joseph, Slinksy, Vegan, good to see you again, dude. Coop NL, Ben, you guys are all studs. We're listening to Dubas's father now, I do believe.
Goal Leafs to another win today.
The Leafs have always liked playing in Montreal.
And the Leafs with an opportunity to take a stranglehold on this series. We're ready for the puck drop. Brought it in on the wing, a pass in. It's over the goalie, score! On a brilliant play by Gal
1-0, Leafs
Willie Nylander.
in Game 4.
Scored in 4 consecutive games.
This game was a heartbreaker, man.
Galchenyuk back the other way, man going hard to the net. They score!
2-0 Leafs. Yeah, I gotta be honest. I knew there was a chance we'd come back, and I do believe that winning Game 1 is underappreciated. Maybe not, but underrated, I should say. Because just stretching this to at least 5 is what undid the Leafs. It exposed their lack of depth. We wore them down, but it was still very unlikely that we'd come back. I can't believe we did. I can believe it, but yeah. Galchenyuk on the bench, MVP of the series.
Galchenyuk finishes it off. Throws a dagger into the hearts of the team that drafted him in the first round. The Leafs will come home to try to
4-0 too. God. Yeah, that was a stinger. So this is the last time we're gonna watch the Leafs celebrate in this documentary here.
Nothing more rewarding than battling with your buddies in that room and coming out on top on the other end. It's the best feeling.
Again, I think they got in their heads. Believe the hype. Oh, there's JT. That's pretty cool. He's happy.
Do the right things, and take care of business when we get back home. Well done, man.
Oh, that was Nick Foligno's dad. My bad. Not Dubas's dad.
That's good stuff, guys.
Congratulations on the win. The boys played really well.
The old boys did tonight. Spaz and Thornton got us going.
The young boys.
Eat that pizza, Foligno's dad. Eat that pizza.
I love it. I love it.
How you doing, okay? Getting better?
Yeah, I'm feeling better actually. I'm not meant to watch. I'm more stressed. Everything hurts more. My back hurts more. Everything hurts more right now watching.
Watching's the hardest part. Playing's way easier.
Pretty cool. Wendell hanging out with Foligno's dad there.
Anytime soon. That's
Former teammate or whatever.
Safe trip back to Toronto.
Thanks. Thank you. Talk to you later. Drive safe, Wendell.
Take care. Good luck.
Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Here we go. Here's the fun stuff. Let's go. Another player profile. We're going Mitch Marner now.
Actually saw I was in third grade. Yeah, she was in fourth, and she went to Western. I got drafted by London Knights. Met up in London, and
You slid into my DMs on my 19th birthday?
yeah, DM Twitter, and I mean, rest is history now.
Yeah. Hi.
I like Mitch too.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh, ate it. Oh, and a Marner jersey.
Good. Very good.
Sign of what's to come. Crash and fall.
Kind of still that draft day of, you know, not really sure what was going to happen.
Meaningful imagery there. But no, I like Mitch Marner. I like watching him play. He's a unique player, special player. Seems like a good guy. I don't like the hate that he gets from Toronto fans. It's ridiculous, especially as a hometown guy. But that's the territory, I guess.
Ready? On his days off, it's nice to come out here, go for strolls, and get some fresh air. But it's been hard. I mean, not the same. I miss going to games a lot, so hopefully we get back there soon.
Zeus,
I'll go this
come on. Good boy.
My knee's feeling better, but
Let's
it's
go.
not bad. It's green. It was, yeah, the lights were bad, so, but a couple weeks.
There's JT back in the practice facility.
How are you? Young, so it's great. Yeah.
Jumbo, little slap on the ass there on the way by. Gotta love athletes, eh? Jeez.
How you feeling? Yeah, feeling good. Yeah? Yeah. You look great. Yeah. The hit itself, I don't remember it. Obviously, I was unconscious after being hit. Very confused at the beginning because I did not know what happened. And then in the ambulance, I started getting very anxious because I knew something had happened and I didn't remember. And you start
Jeez.
thinking very serious consequences about your life, and then you think about your family, your kids, and how things can change so fast.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I've never had a significant head injury. I'm glad I haven't. That would be terrifying.
I've had a great team of people here.
That's encouraging. You feel good, though. Yeah, like I said, John.
He was back on the ice so fast.
I'm excited about continuing that and then doing everything I can to help lead this team.
How big of a boost do you think it is just mentally seeing your captain out on the ice today?
I'm sure it was huge for them.
The Leafs are up 3-1 in their first round series against the Montreal Canadiens. Game 5 goes tomorrow night at Scotiabank Arena.
Many young Leaf fans who'll be watching tonight weren't even born
Let's
the last time
go.
playoff series.
There he is.
All they gotta do is win a fourth playoff game.
What does it just tell you about, you know, how this team is doing just that, getting it done as a team?
They realized that you had to have all these different types of players. Like, you couldn't just be one thing. In the playoffs, like, you kind of need a lot of different elements. You need some grit. Like, you need tons of speed.
Let's go here, baby. It was 3-1. At one point, it was 3-1. They thought they were going to come in and just end the series, Game 5. They were that confident that they were going to come in and end the series. And bad mentality. And the Habs took advantage. Switched it up. Price changed his game.
Started on our heels, elimination game. You know, we have an opportunity to finish off your opponent, and we start hesitant, we start nervous at a time when we should be confident and comfortable.
Centering pass in the Montreal zone comes to Marner, going wide.
You can never be confident and comfortable in the playoffs. I think that's lesson number 1. Definitely lesson number 1. Even like in the game 7, I think we were up 2 goals, but until that buzzer rang, I was still shitting bricks. Can never be comfortable in the playoffs.
Right off the start of this period. So they've had their way right here through 2 periods. They've had their way, they're feeling good and comfortable. Our job right now is to make them fucking uncomfortable. Their season is
Yep.
on the line. We work and we get the next goal. They're extremely uncomfortable. Nobody said
Right.
this shit was going to be easy. We got to go and fucking earn it. Every single guy's got more in here
See that Stanley Cup in their locker room with the three pucks in it.
Price is really challenging in this game.
Oh. Price, Stonewall. Oh, there's one though. 3-1. Right? Oh, that made it 3-2. There's Jack Campbell coming up strong again. Galley in front of the net. Matthews trying to get tough. Galley doesn't give a shit. And then immediately Matthews nowhere to be found. Little push and then he dipped. And then they tie it. 3-3. Chucky. Ooh, Suzuki crushed by Muzzin. I'm nervous now watching this overtime. Jeez. Oh. There we go. There's Chucky's giveaway. The ball's on Caulfield to pass that back there.
That was a kick in the gut.
And Suzuki to finish it. 4-3, baby. A minute in. That was such a stress relief for that OT to end that quick. My God, I was a different person through this series. That's right, Matthews. Austin? Can I call you Austin?
Tell me why you feel that the team can close it out now and win a third consecutive game in Montreal.
I think we guys got another reminder today that Montreal's going to make it real difficult, and that they're a very good team and very strong goaltending, and that in itself gives them lots of belief.
It does, yes. Another big boost for the Habs was having fans in the stands. That kind of worked out well for us. That was a huge boost for us, being able to go back home with some fans. I believe that's what had us win Game 6. To be quite honest, was the fans getting back in there.
There's also some good news on our end. After missing 3 games, Foligno's back.
I'll be fine once I get it. Leafs to the left, Canadiens to the right, and we're underway with a rolling puck in on Campbell.
Call him Meg from Family Guy. It's a good one. Go Habs, go. Here we go. Game 6 is underway. Matthews getting beat up. Did they not show that Sherratt thing in this? They didn't show Matthews getting pushed around by Sherratt. Of course they didn't. That was embarrassing that he didn't stand up for himself. Well, I'm not asking you to like fight Sherratt, but push him back, man. Here's Toffoli, 2-0. At home, too. And you can just see the look in all the players' faces. All the Leafs players. 2-1 Habs. Third period. Oh, man. Tied 2-2.
Leafs are happier to be headed to overtime than the Montreal Canadiens.
We've been through a lot as a hockey team. Been through a lot as a hockey
OT
team.
again.
Find our way to prepare for moments like this. Games like this, series like this. And right now we're not meeting the fucking challenge. We're not. Matty, Mitch, Himes, your line's getting fucking dominated. Dominated. We're on our heels.
We didn't like how we had played to that point in that game. You're right there.
Keefe with some hard truths to his star players. Ouch.
As a coach, you don't get too many of those.
Man.
They're the team that's got their season on the line here right now. We're playing tight. We're here to fucking take it away from them. No reason for us to be nervous. We got to push through. But we've been building towards being a team and being individuals that play well now.
It's a pretty good speech.
This is it. This is the time. These are the fucking moments you're remembered for. All the other shit doesn't fucking matter. This is it. You want to be a great team? You want to be great fucking players? You gotta push through. Come on, man. Offense.
They knew they had to win this game, or else it was going our way, the series. That's where the desperation from Keith, as much as it's a good speech, he's so desperate right now.
You reload, you get above, you get body positioning. The guy's looking to skate by you, you get in his fucking way. Now is the time. Nothing to save it for. This is the time.
Wow. Yeah, that was a little bit, yeah. Great speech, I guess, but maybe not the best moment for it, to be honest, in my opinion. Especially going into overtime. You just want you want them to be a little looser. Mind you, they dominated this overtime. The chances weren't grade A, but they definitely put way more on net than us. Yeah, 13-1 shots for Leafs. But it was a lot of perimeter stuff. There wasn't, other than the Matthews moment where Price was sprawled and he had to like reach his leg out. Other than that, and they didn't even show that. Boom. KK with the winner. There's Austin. Can't believe it.
Matthews Marner hasn't been the ones driving the offense in this series for Toronto. I think the Matthews line has just to break out and really have a difference-making game in this series. And there's no time like the present if you're Toronto.
Often it makes them some help to get something going. Right? They got to help themselves somehow. Empty nets, great opportunities, and it hasn't gone in the net for them. So that could be part of it, I guess. So we got to find a way.
God, they're focused on Matthews and Marner to
The only thing that I could think of is talking to them and telling them that
talking to them.
you're good players and you got to get through this. This is our team. So like this is where we're supposed to be, right here. This is where you do it.
Putting all the pressure on two guys, which I get. They are your stars. They're paid the most. But
They got them under the fucking beds. Like they get everywhere they turn. There's a fucking demon with a lasso on it. The biggest obstacle this team has right now is themselves.
Mitch and Austin Matthews have developed chemistry unlike any other duo in the NHL. For this team to have success, you need that type of player.
This is your guys because of you being who you are and how you do it when you're down. It's much more pronounced than others. And certainly after
yeah, I wouldn't be bringing these guys aside before Game 7. Not a chance.
I just want to check in with you, make sure you're good or what's on your mind or
I'm good.
Yeah, that's a mistake from Kyle. Big time.
I think along the way.
I mean, I'm no expert. I'm not a general manager, but that's a
Score in the league.
that's a mistake sitting him down.
Certainly the great players in the league. With that comes
Especially in front of the cameras too.
yourself or think realities or something else.
That's a no.
I think from my end of it, that's part of the natural journey that you have to go on, right? I think especially in the last number of games, you're working your ass off, you're creating a lot. My only message to you would just be to continue to be you and continue to play that way. I didn't want you to go into it feeling down or not yourself, because I think you have to be yourself, be at your best when you're on the ice. Thank you. Anyway.
He's getting an exit interview before the playoffs are even over.
Mitch Marner is an elite player.
He shouldn't.
He's a guy.
Dubas shouldn't have got involved there.
Lifelong Leaf fan.
Not a chance.
Special it is to be a Leaf. Probably
But that's what happens when you have an inexperienced general manager and a guy who has not played before.
well for our team.
That's what happens. That was a mistake sitting down Marner. And I hope they sat down. If he sat down Marner, he better have sat down Matthews one-on-one too. He really should have sat down none of them
As we're right where we're supposed to be.
one-on-one.
An
But
opportunity where the whole fucking hockey world's looking at us. In a game 7 with the ultimate
huge
obstacle
mistake by
we're trying
Dubas.
to push through right there. Feel good about the fucking fights that our team has had the last 2 games
It'd be awesome to see the Habs perspective. It would have been made more sense for Amazon to be covering the Habs actually on their run. That would have been an incredible documentary. Incredible. I mean, this doc is good, I guess, but like, Leafs fans aren't going to enjoy the end of it. I mean, they all know what's eventually coming anyway. A documentary on the Habs would have been sick. And it'd be interesting to see how they handled the comeback and if how much pressure they put on their players, you know? I can't believe they showed Dubas, and they had Dubas sat down Marner with cameras in the room. Come on, man. Come on. I can't believe that. These guys are all sad before this game even started. They're nervous. They're feeling the pressure.
This is what you dream about, and I dream about these moments.
These guys are stressing.
Nobody talks about winning game 47 of the regular season when you're in the driveway. You talk about winning game 7 overtime.
Here we go, game 7, baby. Let's see it. What a goal that was by Gallagher. That was not a weak goal by Campbell. No, that was not a weak goal by Campbell to let in. You got to give credit to the shooter there. Gallagher walked into that shot, and he's one of the best shooters in the league. At least consistent, and he perfect placement. 5-hole. Can't blame Campbell there. 2-0, baby. Let's go. You thought these guys were nervous before the game started. Now look at them. I like seeing the veterans speak up. That's who you need sending the messages in the playoffs. Game 7 especially. And Dubas didn't need to do that. I still can't believe that shit. That was dumb. Especially to single out Marner, too. That's ridiculous. It's probably too... Ugh. It just goes to show you that Matthews is kind of pampered a little bit by that team. Because if he didn't sit Matthews down too, because Matthews was, I mean, he was good. He did it as best he could. There you go, 3-0, baby. Leafs bench is done for. Nylander doing the best he can. What up? 2 minutes left. Oh, yeah, and they had fans in there for Game 7. That's brutal. Series over, baby. I feel bad for a lot of fans. And it was all healthcare workers in the rink, too, now that I'm remembering. That sucks for them. Because they are the heroes through this pandemic, man. And for them to have to sit through that, and they're just looking to have a good time. So I feel for them. Defeated.
We know that the standard has to continue to go up because even though we did a lot of good things this year as a group,
hard to laugh at players sitting here looking defeated like this. You know, you can tell, you can see how much it means to them. Mitch crying. That's tough, man. That's really tough.
Wasn't living up to my own standards, and just gotta make sure that stops happening.
Oh, look at Jack, man. That's brutal.
It's just tough. Like, I just think of how hard our team battled, and for it to end, you know, worst goal of my career and happen in game
No.
7, you know, it's just not acceptable.
No.
And I think the team
Wasn't a
can
bad goal to
continue
let
get
in.
better, and I know I can be a lot better than that. So I'm gonna get back
That's
to
a
work
leader,
and be
though.
better.
That's a leader, though, Jack Campbell. To take the blame like that. And I guarantee you Spets is telling him, it ain't your fault, dude.
Just pick ourselves up, continue to support each other.
Hyman, crying.
Keep pounding on the door.
Now he's gone.
Find our way to break through.
Jumbo. That's another guy I'm gutted for, man. Look at the look on his face. That's brutal. He's in Florida now, though, isn't he?
We're obviously
That's interesting.
disappointed, expected better of ourselves. Thought we were capable of a lot more, obviously not just tonight, but through the whole series.
Austin. Head in his hands.
In my time in hockey, after a loss, so devastated and distraught.
It's been a long time. It's
Because they thought they had it won.
we don't take that for
They
granted.
thought this series was over at 3-1. That's what they thought.
It's even more
And I
painful.
pumped their tires in my reaction after Game 4 too, and it was purposeful. As much as I knew it was unlikely we'd come back, I made it a point to pump the living shit out of the tires of the Leafs and their fans. The reverse jinx, baby. And I hope we see this series again this year, and I hope we see it a bunch for the rest of this decade, and while these teams are really good at the same time. I think Montreal has a really strong future for many years to come. The Leafs window, depending on what happens with Matthews, could close here
Are usually directly preceded by the
in, you know,
greatest
four
disappointments.
years-ish.
And if the organization can stand with its
Just because of how they've
convictions,
depleted the
drive
prospects and
it will be rewarded.
picks, and their cap's a mess.
Just because you haven't won doesn't mean you cannot or will not win. Whether or not you win will be determined based on how you deal with devastation.
There's the shot. Matthews and Marner. Crazy. Oh, that was worth the watch, baby. Talk about a shitty ending to this documentary for Leafs fans. Mind you, it was probably good to get a look inside the room, and a lot of these guys are very personable, likable guys. I love that bit about Kyle Dubas leaving for, I think, Game 3, was it? He left. He couldn't be there for Game 3 because of the birth of his second son. That was awesome. I mean, because family first always, right? And I have no ill will against Kyle Dubas. The guy's a friggin' really strong hockey mind. I think there's just some inexperience there, to be quite honest. You know, like the Marner thing there, that was a fucking prime example of it. You don't do that, and you don't do it in front of the cameras, and you don't do it if you're not sitting down the other star too. There was no reason to sit down Marner or Nylander, so he didn't need it. But you could have sat Matthews down in front of the cameras, just to be fair. Even though Matthews, for the most part, played decent, he didn't get up on the board or anything. But that's the thing with Matthews. He's streaky in the playoffs, man. Like, he'll have a multi-point game, but then he'll disappear. Wow. But yeah, I hope we see Leafs and Habs as much as possible over the next while, because that was a good series. I didn't like what I became for a good portion of it. It was a unique exercise. I think my wife saw a different side of me, but you know, watching the Jets series after that was like almost watching preseason, coming down off that stress. Just wanted to beat the Leafs so bad, and then the way it played out, the ups and downs, win game 1, lose the next 3, come back, and epic fashion. So guys, I gotta give this ring away. I bought it specifically to give away after this reaction. It's a Stanley Cup replica 1993 Patrick Roy cup ring. And how about, let me see here. Let me just get a nice trivia question about. Who scored? Okay, for this ring, another goal question. To win a Montreal Canadiens Stanley Cup replica. Who scored the game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup final to win the cup in 1967? Who scored the goal? First one to answer in the chat, full name gets the ring. Who scored the game-winning goal for the Leafs in the 1967, the cup-winning goal in the 1967 Stanley Cup final? Full name, please. First one in the chat. No, this is for the Leafs. Who scored the 1967 cup-winning goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs? And you will win a Habs Cup ring. Full name, please. Ty Domi was not playing in 1967. I'll tell you that right now. Might take a while for you to get this one. But someone will do it. Someone will do it. There's also something that starts with G that could help you. If you know what I mean. I don't care if you cheat. There it is. Daniel Basterat. Now, dude, you're a Leafs fan. Do you want a Canadiens replica cup ring? I'll send it to you. You got it right. You let me know. You let me know, Daniel, and if you don't want it, I'll ask another question. But you got the question right, Daniel Bastarash. So if you want the ring, it's yours. But if you don't, I'll do another trivia question because you are a Leafs fan. I'm not sure if you want the Habs Cup replica cup ring. Never heard of him. Cisco Habs 89. Come on, Daniel, hook me up. Let me know if you want this ring or not. Go Habs. He's my old man is 60 years old. Sounds good, Daniel. You know what? I think I will just give it to the next guy who had the right answer. I appreciate that, Daniel. You're a stellar Leafs fan, my friend. Thank you. So the next person with the right answer was Mnemonic Rhino. Mnemonic Rhino. Send me your full mailing address, and I'll get that ring off to you. It's a beauty. All yours, bub. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me on the stream. I hope you had a good time. It was all in good fun, just a little trolling. It's kind of what I went for my marketing plan here to start the season on the channel. Trolling a little bit. That's why I used the Leafs goal song in the teaser. That's why I kind of, did a play on Steve Dangle's look for the advertisement for this stream. It's all in good fun. I don't take myself too seriously. I'm just a fan like you guys. Collected a lot of stuff over the years. A lot of this stuff's my dad's and my brother's that kind of got amalgamated into my collection, and I just figured I'd put it up on the wall, start a YouTube channel. But I'm just a Habs fan. I just, I enjoy watching it. Doing this channel gets me off the couch. It gets me away from just sitting around gaming, and I encourage anyone, if you want to start a YouTube channel, get at her, and I'll do anything I can to support you, whether that's for the Leafs or Habs or for the Arizona Coyotes, once Matthews goes there, whatever. Do it up, and I'll support you. But I love you guys. Appreciate the support as always. Keep an eye out for the reactions to start the season. I'm going to do a Atlantic Division preview, but not an in-depth one with all the graphics and all that stuff. It's going to be a podcast style with my buddy Tyler, Leafs fan. I'm hoping to get a Red Wings fan in here, my buddy Blair. And if I can find a Bruins fan and a Ottawa fan, I will. But point will be, we're going to have a nice open discussion about the Atlantic Division at some point in the next couple weeks. And so look out for that. And as always, go Habs, go, baby. Woo! Thanks for joining tonight, guys. Appreciate it.